We're live. Got an episode in a getaway cabin with the wife, Justine.
The wife.
The one and only. We're on night number 2 here in a cabin in Michigan. We are glamping and got away with getaway. It's a little drizzly outside. Hopefully you can hear.
It's
some
giving
of it.
Twilight, the first movie. It's very rainy. It's green. What do you see, Victor? Let's do a five senses thing.
I see a lush forest green. The lighting inside the cabin is very moody. They're adjustable lights, and we kind of dimmed it down just a bit. You got pretty much everything you need.
It's very candlelit kind of
arm's
vibe.
reach. The pups were on the bed. You pretty much have bathroom, kitchen, table for 2, and a bed.
Edgewater candles, honestly, for the
Edgewater candles. Yeah. Thanks for
the aromatherapy,
assisting with the vibes. It's been great. Would do it again. Would you do it again?
Absolutely. What do you hear outside? Hopefully you guys can hear the rain. Who needs
It's just
to
a
play
little
rain
drizzly.
sounds?
Who needs a bonfire at the moment? We had a good one last night.
Croissant s'mores. If you haven't tried it,
had
please do it.
beverages earlier from Remember. Justine tried the lavender for the first time.
Delicious.
I had the other one. Name
Rose
escapes me.
hibiscus.
Is that what it was?
Rose hibiscus.
Yeah. One of our go-tos.
Also very refreshing.
But in hand, we have wine that we picked up on the way here from Lemon Creek Winery. A little Chardonnay. Reserve 2021.
Notes of apples.
Yeah, very
orange, very citrus, vanilla. Yum,
But
yum, yum.
we thought it'd be a good time to reflect on almost a year of being married.
8 months.
8 months, to be exact.
It's my birthday today.
Oh, yeah. Happy 37th, Justine.
That's why we're here.
We did reflect on us getting engaged this weekend about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Around the Sueños weekend. I remember getting stuck in traffic in Sueños 2 years ago.
And
on the
Coldplay.
way to North Avenue to propose. And Coldplay was in town 2 years ago at this time. And a lot of people ask, when someone gets married, like, how is married life? And honestly, my answer is the same. Logistically, it's the same. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. I don't feel like we argue at all. Both of us have a pretty level head, and I think if something is really is on our mind, I don't think we kind of like hesitate to share that.
Well, we hear each other out.
Yeah, or we feel safe enough to speak our minds. But yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's great. It's been great for me. How about you?
Love that for you.
How about you, Justine? I
love married life for you.
I always acknowledge we wouldn't be able to do what we do without each other. I think you holding the house down and being the primary homemaker and just like the immaculate vibes at home and just taking care of all the things behind the scenes allows me to just feel like I'm just playing around with the podcast and doing wedding photography things. But I know we're both hustling, even if one isn't as publicized.
Yeah, your girl is tired.
Do you feel what?
I said, yeah, your girl is tired.
I know.
But you're tired too.
Do you feel like it's balanced, or do you feel like it's kind of one-sided?
No, I definitely do feel like it's balanced. I think it's true, like, just because or not you as in you personally, but like just because something isn't posted on social media, it doesn't mean that there's things happening, that life isn't going on, that partners are not working hard,
Yeah.
Because I don't do it for public validation.
If anything, the algorithm of Instagram not playing to the creators, that are doing great things, in a way has worked in our favor in the sense of not seeing too much value in social media anymore and not feeling so inclined to play to the algorithm. And for me personally, just to post, not necessarily to try to seek virality every time and things like that. And so,
Where do you think that shift of intention, where do you think that shifted for you? Is that where you're at right now?
wait, so your question was where did it shift to?
Where, like, it shifted from, like, okay, I want to be, like, I want to, like, gain traction, XYZ, this amount of, like, you're trying to, like, gain so many, like, followers,
Yeah,
or
I mean, I think there's merit.
eyes on what you're doing.
Yeah,
But where does that kind of shift into, like, you just wanting to, like, I want to just, like, post or talk about whatever it is that you want to post about, even though if it's not for the viewers per se. Does that make sense?
there's definitely merit to having a following and having high engagement, and it leads to more opportunities. I'm not denying that, but I'm just no longer simply chasing that feeling or that goalpost. And I think a lot of people have already sensed that, but it's just like, from going from posting 5 to 6 clips per episode to just one clip or trailer per episode, I'm trying to just, put out a trailer of each episode, albeit that trailer might be a little clickbaity in the sense of, like, I do try to keep in mind what part of an episode is not only the summary but also the most alluring or enticing to an episode. But I think selfishly I'm just naturally curious about how the world works and learning about a lot of the local entrepreneurs and creatives and makers in our city, and that's kind of just what keeps me going. And I just happen to make a clip about an episode and just share it. But what keeps me going is, like, I want to hear about these things, so I make the time to record these things. And if someone wants to listen to it, that's great. But I'm no longer trying to actively tease out or extract value from every guest, or as much value from every guest as much as possible. So my attention now, or focus, is more so just learning of each other and how the world works, why the world works the way it does, in order to lead a more frictionless and happy and peaceful life.
That's really nice.
Thanks.
Frictionless.
Right? Isn't that something we all should be kind of striving for? The least amount of dissonance in our life. Not to say, like, we should all be 100% agreeable or not have people with conflicting viewpoints or perspectives around us. We should. But maybe people with differing viewpoints but similar goals.
There has to be some sort of string.
Yeah, common thread.
Yeah.
How do you feel that we've been faring on I don't know, on anything, whether it's health? I think we've been making great strides in the last year for health. We recently joined a gym.
Well, that was, like, in January 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that we haven't really done together prior to that. And now we try to make it at least once, maybe twice a week to
Go to the
like
gym
a
with each other.
high intensity interval training class, and it's been fun. It's been fun kind of motivating each other, and we agree that the hardest part is getting there, and once you're there, it's just like, it's still hard, but it's not as hard as, leaving the house.
I think it came from thinking about, like, preventative health and keeping our bodies healthy, like, right, doing what we can do now than waiting for something else to happen. And not to say that it's too late, but it's like, start now rather than later.
I'm going on year 3 without insurance. right? And I have, an HSA that I'm saving money into, but I don't go see primary care or anything like that.
That'll change on our anniversary. Sorry. That was my fault.
No, I'm not blaming you. I have the money to go pay out of pocket to go see a primary care, but
Your choice.
the the thought or importance of being more intentional with food or working out, it has dawned on me, if not both of us, recently, 2024. So on the health front, very happy with where we're at. Same on the money front. I think we're making huge leaps and strides in the money front.
Yeah, I think there's like financial goals that we both have been trying to reach.
How many people actively are transparent about the debt that they've brought into a relationship, as well as their financial goals, and the type of lifestyle that they want to develop and build into?
Yeah, I think the presence now, like, it's more acceptable to talk about it because people on social media are talking about, saving and like how to like, make a side hustle to like pare down debt and there's just more and more, like, I feel like each year, especially since 2020, there's just it's been more open.
Well, yeah,
there's like not a like, what do you call, just like, oh, like hush hush about it.
Oh,
so
taboo,
I guess
yeah.
and it's very personal too. So it's however you were raised to.
Well, there could be shame. There could be shame into like a
around
certain
money.
addiction of like, spending habits that you fall prey to, and you're just ashamed of sharing that stuff with sometimes even your loved one. But we've been working with like an advisor as well as a new CPA, and I think my personal theme for 2024 is minimizing the things that we don't know. So always learning, obviously, right? That's another way to put it.
The information is out there, and if not, there is somebody who knows that information. So seek out those people.
Like, it's scary to not know what you don't know, and leaving potential on the table, like unspent potential on the table, not fulfilling your potential. So in every sense of the word, whether it's not knowing of necessarily maybe a hack per se, to preserve wealth via expenses or taxes and things like that. I think Justine and I in the next year, we're gonna aim, probably not by the end of the year, but within the next year, like aim for our first like big like property. And there's a lot of things that we don't know, and we're gonna rely on our network to help guide us through that phase.
Yeah, I feel like a grown-up.
Right?
At 37, I finally feel like a grown-up.
when you said that, like, at 37, you did not quiver. You felt confident. I didn't feel a sense of shame or embarrassment with,
or like
saying,
sense of dread.
Like
when people turn a
earlier
certain
today,
people turn a certain age, maybe
Yeah.
they're just, oh no, I'm turning blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I mean, thanks to our friend Lucia, she always reminds me and us of like, and her friends and followers of like how much of a privilege it is to just get older, and not all of us have that privilege to know someone that we would like to get older, or even ourselves. And when you get disabled, or when you have, when you've been made aware of a timeline or a deadline of your life, like, your perspective quickly shifts, and priorities shift. And what if we can realize those priorities much sooner than when our mortality has come knocking? That would be the ultimate key, right, to a happy life, is to live it the way we would if we were on our deathbed.
Mm-hmm. Like whatever, a quote that I came across from James Clear, paraphrasing here, is
Atomic Habits. I still haven't read that book.
We have it.
I know.
But I also follow. It's nice. Like when I do go on social media and I follow, he like posts, a thing each day or like each week. But the one that really stuck with me is think of your ideal day,
Okay.
and whatever comprises of that ideal day, do that every day.
Yeah.
Like, how awesome was that?
Yeah.
Like the things like it,
Well,
or if you have experienced like, man, like you ever go to bed and you're like, wow, like this was an awesome day. What was it that made it awesome? And like, let's try to do it again.
I know it's easy to say as we're on vacation, and I wonder how much of this like you can replicate in your day to day.
I think if we put in the time to, if anybody puts
So
in
I guess
the
in your
intention
in
and
your
the
day to day,
time,
what would the ideal day look like, and how far is it from your actual day to day?
I think it would be putting in the like the physical, like putting my body through a physical stress to make myself stronger, aka exercising, going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the science is true. You do feel better after. Like, wow, a concept.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that's like time for yourself to work on yourself, and that's not for. I would
know, when
hope
they-
not for anybody else.
When they say that in yoga or sometimes in the HIIT class, of like the next 45 minutes is like for yourself, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm just so busy, and I get it. I'm like, that is sometimes like the only moment to like just not be plugged in and to do something for you. And I don't take it for granted.
Yeah,
I
that's not even that. Yeah, not
believe
even for
that.
me. Like
know.
that is for you, not for the dogs,
Yeah.
not for the business. It's for your machine of a body
I know.
and for your machine of a mind.
Yeah.
And machine of a heart.
Justine would remark on how fast I can run on the treadmill.
Yeah, he's like a gazelle, y'all.
And yeah, I remember like I enjoyed running fast in like high school and junior high. But I also noted like there's going to be a day where we won't be able to use our body like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It's like every time I love the coaches that say the phrase like remind yourself why you came in here today. Like what was
Uh-huh.
your intention for coming in here today? And sometimes some of those questions just get real deep and I'm just like, "Oh my god, I'm crying on the treadmill. I came here for me."
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
But no, there's something to be said about like working on yourself in that regard. You know, whether you're challenging your, you know, when you want to quit and you're still going in that sense of a class.
Yeah.
And like how
and
that
in
can
reality,
apply.
you're growing.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that persistence.
On the family front, I feel like I couldn't, we're doing great as far as trying to see family as often as possible.
Yeah.
I think your parents are doing great. I think my parents are doing fine.
Yeah,
I
your
think
mom is going to see the world and hopefully a brand new set of eyes.
cataract surgery.
Which is like another point of like thinking like, wow, our parents are, every time we see them, it's like just seeing them mature and age and right. You have,
Yeah, I mean, and I think I've personally come to a point where I'm not asking for more than, I'm not asking my parents to do more than what they're willing to do, I guess. And
Or
that could be
give.
as simple as coming downtown to dinner. They're from the northwest suburbs, so like coming downtown to dinner, which could take 45 minutes to an hour. But I think in general they just hate downtown traffic and just the drive. And I don't know, it's just no longer really like asking, and like I'm happy to do it anytime they initiate, but not managing my expectations of my parents, which would then ultimately allow me to just be at peace with how things are and not be let down. And I knew this going into the marriage of just like, we'd probably be spending more time with your parents. And I admire how much they put into themselves and each other and make the time for you guys, you and John, and they would, happily go up to Wisconsin anytime to see Roman. And I think family's been good.
yeah. Our family of 4. It's still me, Victor, Oi, and Jack. They are doing so well on this mini road trip. They are loving the nature and the cabin and exploring the new smells. We went to like 2 different like nature trails today. They are they are loving cabin life. I think home is wherever we are.
Yeah, it is. Because every time I leave the car, they're just freaking out. So there's some attachment issues for sure. But yeah, home is where I am.
I also agree. Wherever you are is my home, Victor Chan.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, anything else you want to note on? Like, as we come up to a year, I know we still have yet to plan our Italy honeymoon,
Yeah,
our delayed honeymoon. But
yeah, I am looking forward to our 1-year anniversary. We are at 8 months of wedding life,
yeah,
wedded life. But yeah, it's really good. It feels right. Looking forward to our future plans together and more vacations, more time together. But something that I love about being here at this cabin is there's no TV here, guys.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like there's our phone, but like
It's
internet is spotty
spotty signal.
on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to slow down, and I do feel like time is kind of slowed down here, and it's like, even though it's just like enjoying your company, we're both like reading all of the books that we are that we've been
I
meaning
finished
to
Lawrence's
get
book.
to. Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Lawrence Dunning.
Yeah, Lawrence
The
Dunning.
Forgotten Asset, is it?
Yeah, The Forgotten Asset by Lawrence and Brad.
Out now.
Lawrence Dunning and Brad Anastasia. Find it on Amazon. It really
What is it about?
puts out the importance of why one should get into real estate investing compared to stocks, and do both if you can, and how. All the steps, all the jargon, as well as how to be a good landlord. And it really lays down all the steps A to Z, essentially. So it's a very quick read, like 130, 140 pages, quick read.
Definitely a good reference book. Instead of bothering him.
Yeah.
With all
Some
our
of the busiest
questions.
people I know. But Lawrence and Brad, will chop it up on a future episode one day about this book. But yeah,
What other books did you bring?
I brought Poor Charlie's Almanac, pretty much a reflection on how to make a decision, or how Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's pretty much anonymous partner, how he makes decisions, and why he thinks the way he does. And it's a very holistic, analytical approach. But that's something I just probably got 50 pages into before I dove into Lawrence's book.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You also have
And
the
then,
Feel
the
Good
Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdal, a YouTuber, social media influencer, previous physician, probably still a physician, but not actively practicing. But yeah.
Very cool. Some Stoicism books here.
Oh yeah, Epictetus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Discourses. But it's good. It's been a good like 2 days here. Tomorrow we leave to go back to the grind. The grind doesn't really stop ever, but
Yeah.
grateful for a team that can take over most of it.
Yeah, and like something that I thought about is, even though we're here in the getaway cabin, I don't get upset whenever Victor has to attend to a business call or, respond to messages related to the business, because I still understand, like, the business takes care of me too. So I'm like, well, baby, take care of your business. So, but I know that like he comes back. He's not so encumbered by it that he's totally away from being present here. So I understand about that.
Thanks. Yeah, I try. We're here. But yeah, I think the next thing, after I'm done done planning graduation for the EMT class, it's going to be awesome, guys. If you're in Chicago, it's going to be at the Sears Tower. But we'll be planning our Italy honeymoon. trying to not recreate the trip that I went on, but obviously go to things that we both would enjoy as well.
Yeah, it'll be my first time in Italy.
Yeah, my second time. So we want to probably plan it around. You like a lot of art, museums,
History,
food.
architecture.
Yeah, I mean, how many churches do you feel like you have to see?
Oh, no, I'm fine with the churches.
Usually the art's inside, right? So it's just like, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I'm not making any pilgrimage. Don't get me wrong.
Seeing David in person is pretty cool. Maybe getting some leather goods, maybe a bag or a set of shoes.
Yeah. Maybe
Food,
get a nice watch.
steaks. I thought about that. I don't know. But wine and cheese.
Speaking of wine,
Yeah.
from our wedding,
Yes.
we have a 1 year a 1 year anniversary bottle waiting for us.
That's the champagne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
got it,
off premise.
Adam from off premise in Lincoln Park.
Yeah, we have a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year,
And 20.
20 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to pop open that first bottle. Lucky us.
How is it getting back the wedding album from Kyle as well
Kyle
as the
Zetto,
video from Mark?
Mark Ayala, Sky Cam.
I didn't tell you. I rewatched the
And-
video at
When?
Northwestern on Friday.
By yourself?
No.
Carter Davis.
A
Shout out.
coworker and Sky. Yeah, a coworker wanted to, or I guess like was curious about something about the wedding. I was like, let me just show you. So I just pulled up.
Ew.
I just pulled up the video.
No, maybe they were like, "Are you really married?"
Yes, I am really married. But it was nice rewatching it. And I remember when we were planning the
Aw.
wedding, and speaking of wedding planner, Nikki, I haven't forgotten about you. Your episode is probably out before this episode, so.
So you showed your coworker this video. How did you feel watching it? You probably haven't seen it since we watched it the first time.
What I was getting at is just like I remember in the planning stages of like kind of being okay with not having video because we were reaching kind of the extent of our budget, and I easily convinced you that we only get married
As
once.
with most things, you
And
easily
you're like,
convince me. It only literally just takes one of us to say, maybe. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. And we're, eternally grateful for the help that our parents gave us. We definitely hustled, all the second shooter opportunities of the weddings I shot, all that went towards our wedding budget. And Justine picked up a bunch of shifts and in her position, is luckily affording us this opportunity to have the wedding of our dreams.
Yeah. Dream wedding with my dream guy. What can we say?
I mean, ideally, you only get married once, right? So why not do it the best you can?
This is why I married Victor Chan, y'all. That energy.
And like, what's, when we talk about like rich life, like what does that look like to you? So like, for example, like we're trying to plan, we are planning, it's going to happen, this like omakase with the cousins. Like ideally I'd want to do something like that once a year.
I say that's fair. That is fair. Very thankful to have a partner that appreciates my family as much as I do. Shout out to the Cousins Council. Don't worry, guys, I'm not crying.
No. Right.
No, I say that because I get emotional sometimes, aka all the time when I speak about my cousins who are my best friends in the world.
Aww.
No, so we're planning, like to have a partner who is just as involved and like is so considerate of planning things that involve my family. That's awesome. So we'll, just making memories.
I think it's something I've
and
always
bonding.
wanted.
Yeah.
And now to have it is just like, cultivate it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Um,
So yeah, 1 year anniversary around the
1 year
bend.
anniversary.
It's gonna be a busy summer.
So 1 year
And-
anniversary for us. What's it going to be for your parents soon? 40?
That'll be in a couple years. It'll be their 38th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, this year, but yeah, 40
Yeah.
soon.
And it'll be Lola and Lola, my grandma and grandpa Umali's 57th anniversary, because our wedding anniversary is the same day as theirs. So
It is.
yeah, lots of happy things.
I guess I know that like this episode was supposed to happen much sooner, post wedding, so it's like not hard to remember, but like hard to remember, not the wedding day, but what we were supposed to talk about.
I think maybe
Because we our first episode was leading up to the wedding, so like I guess for people that maybe who weren't at the wedding, like, was it everything you could have imagined?
sure. I had a blast.
Yeah.
It is a day that is like top five days that I would love to relive again, and thankfully because of video and photo, that is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
pretty
music
much
was
everything
great.
was on the timeline. Nikki helped out picking up a bunch
Jason
of stuff.
Chan showed up.
We told you, Jason, if you're listening, but I had a nightmare that you didn't show up, or no, you showed up, but you were sitting in the front row, and I was like pointing at like, are you gonna come up here and officiate? And you just straight up shook your head no, and I was like, but what? Yeah, so that was a nightmare, and you were probably stuck in traffic coming from Skokie, but you showed up and you killed it, and you were the glue of our ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And
all of our speakers were amazing. We had 7 speakers.
When we were on the way, Nikki was like, how do I call Jason? Where's Jason? I don't know if he's showing up. And we're like, it's this really handsome Asian guy. And I guess there were a bunch of handsome Asian guys, but when you did show up, she instantly knew who you were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. We recently had dinner with Jason, and he freaking made creme fraiche caviar Neapolitan pizza in his pizza oven. And
yeah. What an amazing human.
Back to our wedding day, it's just like from
the flowers,
no video to even like
amazing.
not even wanting a wedding cake. We had a wedding cake with our dogs made into like little 3D models, and
Annie Lotus flower.
Annie Lotus. Oi was a little statue on the cake, and it looked like she was hiding under the sheets of the cake, and then they made it look like Jack was taking a bite out of the cake. He had some cake on his cheeks.
Cute. So cute. It was a carrot cake.
To Mr. Tommy Perazzo killing it with the audio vibes from the ceremony.
And the band was amazing.
The trio played what
Matt, Zach, and Tom.
yeah, they played, was it George Harrison's
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
They did an acoustic version of a George Harrison song.
Hallelujah, was it?
No. Ooh,
My Sweet Lord, or like what?
that one, yes.
Yeah, that's not the title, but it's that.
I think it's
song.
part of the title.
And then yeah, even like taking portraits downtown. The only hiccup there was
Chicago Theater
not
had
being able to
construction
take
happening in the
photos
front.
at the Chicago Theater, but we pivoted to the Chicago Riverwalk, and that was just as good, if not better.
Beautiful.
Ceremony was great. The 7 wishes were great. People came up and were really sincere and said really sweet things. And
We had
wishes.
my grandfather,
Yeah, Lolo and
Roman
Lolo.
Amali,
Yep.
did the first speech.
We did your parents. My
Both sets of parents.
Jenny Lou.
Jenny Lou, my best friend Jenny Lou.
Marishan,
My cousin Marishawn.
my brother Tim.
Brother
and,
Tim.
And then your brother John.
And brother John.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Although it was like a 30-minute ceremony, it felt like we were there for a little bit. Which like
Probably because we had
not
a
that I
variety
didn't
of
enjoy it.
speakers.
It's just like I enjoyed every minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
But next thing you know, you're receding down the aisle, right?
Yeah,
you
we
know,
had-
a lot of people don't know
that
that
was
the recessional. So
great.
you're the processional and then the recessional. But the recessional, having flower petals thrown on you, and the kiss at the end of the aisle, and then you're done. And the next thing you know, you're in the bridal suite, hawking down some hors d'oeuvres and helping Jenny Lou out with her dress.
No, she's helping me with my dress.
She's helping you up with your dress with
Bustle
the
my dress.
with the bus. Yep, and then
Get it
and
into
then
party mode.
Baby Roman was in there.
Yeah, VIP.
And then we got to join cocktail hour for like the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we had to do the grand entrance.
Yes, we did.
And then we walked into Return of the Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut the cake.
Cut the cake.
We did not smash it on each other's face.
No. No, none of that. No, thank you.
Yeah, we fed each other, and then dinner was good.
Dinner was great, catered by design.
Yeah, they did a great job. Service was good.
Mm-hmm.
All the speeches were good.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was
We got Marty Walsh.
Jake,
we had Jake.
and then cousin Mark.
We had my cousin Mark, who made me cry.
Yeah.
We had Genesis.
Yep, Genesis.
Yeah, that was great.
And then dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
And then father daughter, mother son,
Dances.
you and I.
Yeah, you did pretty good, and then you had your speech.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Well, you had a like you prepared a dance.
Oh yeah, me and my dad we rehearsed a little dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our thank yous to all the vendors and all the guests for coming. And then
cigars.
The rest of the night was just like having a good time. So we just like cigars and catching up with people and dancing. And yeah, like I said, Tommy and his band, Matt, Zach, and Tom, they killed it the entire time. And then but like if you don't have the intention to enjoy like your wedding day, it's like it does fly by. And we did set that intention, and I think we practiced it really well, and it did fly by. And next thing you know, you're having help from your brother pack up the car and drop shit off at your home, and you're back home.
Yeah, we're back home. We're back home. And then we had a fun family party the next day.
Right.
Yeah, at my parents' home.
Jason and Beth were there. Genesis was there.
Yeah. All the fam.
Cousins were there, yeah.
All the fam. And you had family come in from overseas, too.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. That was really special.
We did a pseudo rehearsal dinner that you didn't get to attend because you were fucking around with the cry cut. And it was taking longer than expected. So, yeah, I think overall it was a freaking awesome day. And like you said, I would do it again over and over again.
It makes me really excited, honestly, for like any of our family or friends who are making that decision to have a wedding and a wedding reception and all that. It just, so it's like when we're lucky enough to get invited, and honestly, like, it's your day. Do whatever you want. You want to have people there? Great. You don't want people there? Great.
I think we did a great job at managing our parents' expectations of who and who's not going to show up either.
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? We didn't, thankfully, to us, we didn't hear any pushback at all. At all. Yeah. Very lucky. I'm glad.
Do we have any advice for people that are currently dating, looking for their life partner, if that's something that they're interested in? Like, they're like, I just can't find someone. And there's this quote of like, in order to find someone worthy, be worthy yourself. Right?
Yeah,
so
I definitely believe in
just
like
work on yourself.
Yeah, you will project whatever your ideal partners, whoever that you want to be in your life, you have to project that energy as well. So it's like by focusing on the things that you want for yourself, just like work towards that, and the right people will come along.
Yeah.
But definitely discern who comes along, because it's like when you are projecting, say, for example, positive energy, you'll attract the good and the bad, and you have to discern which ones are worth your time.
So I guess like, and how would you increase your chances of meeting people if you feel like the apps aren't working in your favor?
Put yourself in the environments where you think those people are, maybe.
And if that's what you want to be doing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I want someone who is...
Like if you're an avid volunteer at a philanthropy...
Yeah, because then you have a common ground there.
A food pantry or whatever.
Or value, yeah.
Chances are you might be bumping into people that are single with similar virtues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like just put yourself in similar situations.
Yeah.
Is it simpler than what people think, like, make it out to be? Or was dating hard?
I think dating's
But
exhausting. But it's a lot of fun.
is it unnecessarily exhausting?
Yeah, I guess it
Like,
just
could you
depends
have-
how much energy
Could
you're
you have
willing to put.
avoided a lot of that exhaustion if you had certain filters to utilize?
You know what? Around the time that I met you, I was willing to put in that work because I was pretty serious about finding my life partner.
Yeah.
So that was my intention. And I tried to put in the work and I found you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't get rid of me.
No, I didn't. You thought I did. You thought I was going to.
But literally it's like because Victor is so chill. and then here's me over analyzing. He's like, "Nah, like we good. Want to watch all the Marvel movies?" Yeah, sure.
How would you advise friends to navigate the online dating world? As far as, being sincere, accurate to who they are, putting their best foot forward, putting initiative in their profile.
Yeah, I think the more you have on your profile, I feel like the better your chances are. I know personally for me, when I was looking at profiles, if people barely had anything on there, that means you didn't put any effort into it. So I'm looking for as filled out as possible, pictures, answering questions, whatever
Yeah, so you want
system that you're working.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are all kind of like first impression things, and does it translate into when you're having a conversation with someone?
Have the platform work in your favor. You want to build a first impression in the sense of like what you enjoy doing in your free time, and maybe how you think. And so how do you do
Yeah.
that? How do you do that? I don't know how other platforms are these days, but Hinge had prompts
Yeah.
that gives you an opportunity to display your thought process and how you see the world.
Parts of your personality.
And photos. It's scary how like AI and how fake real photos can look, I guess, or how real photos can look fake. No, how fake. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you can't tell the difference is what I'm trying to get at.
That's why you have to like discern and put people. For me, in my situation, after messaging very shortly with Victor back and forth, it was just like, here's my number. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, let's see how it goes with talking. And then it's like, let's see how it goes into a first date.
Yeah.
Like all of these dating sites, these are just, first impressions.
Yeah.
These are all just first impressions.
I mean, whether it's a dating mediator, a family friend, a parent that's setting you up, or a dating app, a friend of a friend, in a way, these are all vessels, and someone, whether that's you building a platform, or your friend that's mediating, or your parent, or what's that Indian dating show?
Indian matchmaker.
That's what I mean. The matchmaker. They're all creating a first impression on your behalf. So, if anything, a dating profile is more within your control to create a first impression. And so, take the time to think about what type of first impression you want to create. So, what type of partner are you looking for? And is that the type of person you would date yourself? So, is it introvertedness? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just who you are. But extrovertedness, do you like gaming? Do you like hiking, traveling, foodie? And so whatever you like, try to display those criteria, things within your profile. And it doesn't hurt to be playful.
Yeah. Victor with your naked butt on there.
Oh, that was me being playful.
It sure was. It made a first impression on me. No, but I mean, the wedding day, going back to like the wedding day, it was a beautiful day, so much fun. And now it's a marriage for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, like, do you feel like, not that we don't have to work on what we have, but it's like this like burden or weight has lifted because who you choose to be a life partner is a big decision, and once you've made that decision, if it is a good decision, I feel like the rest of the world is like yours now. So like the opportunities that come your way in a way double.
I like that. That's
because
really nice.
of like what you do in your life and what I do in my life, and when they come together, it's just like it's more than what you could have accomplished on your own.
Yeah.
And the amount of mental bandwidth it took to like plan dates, talk to people, although fun, it's like it definitely took up a lot of my time. And now it's like, what's the next thing, right? So whether that's the business, planning a family, and just living a well-balanced, peaceful life, that's the best.
Yeah. I mean, I'm your date forever.
Forever date.
Yeah.
And our parents haven't been too sticklers of this, but we want kids eventually. And when I talked about the honeymoon with Marty and your birthday, Marty was like, "Oh, how old is she now?" And I'm like, 37. And he's like, "Dude, you got to drop a seed in her right now."
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
God. What? God damn.
And I'm like, "Dude, I know."
Sorry, future children.
So, yeah, well, I mean, we're not blind to the fact that age is a factor, and the number of children we might want is a factor. So yeah, that's something that we'll probably strive for in the next couple of years for sure, in our family journey.
Yeah. In whatever form that looks like.
Yeah, Justine's always gracious about it, if we're lucky to have kids.
Yeah. Or like we adopt. You know,
Yeah,
that's something
not
that we
opposed to
talk
that.
about too.
Sure.
Yeah. We got lots of love to give.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't. Is there anything else to remark on as far as like, the 8-month mark after wedding, or it's been a blast, and I feel like it keeps getting better. And in your own words, like, life with you is great, Victor Chan.
Oh man, life with Victor Chan is the best, y'all. It really
Vice versa.
is.
Yeah, it wouldn't be possible without each other. So it's been fun. Yeah, if you made it to the very end, kudos to you.
Kudos to you.
You're a real one.
After we're almost done with a whole bottle of Chardonnay Reserve.
But yeah, that's a little bit about us. If you have any questions, we're always open to questions. But this was a little side tangent to the typical episode, but hopefully gives you more insight into maybe what's possible out there.
Well, this is us.
This is us. All right. Okay, adios. This is us. Bye.
Bye.